Hello, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Vanessa. Apart from work and life, I am someone who is adventurous and constantly enjoy learning new skills and experiencing new things. At work, I am a research engineer who manages multiple R&D projects in the domain of acoustics. Outside of work, I juggle a couple of things. I serve in the communications ministry at church on the weekends, and I'm working towards my grade 8 classical guitar certification. I also enjoy doing multiple sports like bouldering, dragon boat, and any other sport really. On top of this, I manage a personal finance page where I document my career and financial journey to help others on the same financial literacy journey as me, and I teach e-math tuition to upper secondary students. I also enjoy traveling and hanging out with friends to catch up whenever we can. To be honest, I struggled a lot with my introverted nature when I was younger. It was not only till Polytechnic that I learned that if I needed help, I had to take the first step to voice my needs. As a child growing up, my parents did not give me the safe space to feel and express my emotions. That taught me to suppress my emotions and needs to maintain peace and harmony in the family. Hence, I grew up not being able to identify my emotions and my needs. Only knew how to suppress my emotions and sweep them under a rug. However, there came a turning point whereby that mechanism failed to work. This was in my first year of uni that I spiraled into depression. I was diagnosed with double depression, MDD, and dysthymia, and knew I could not get out on my own. I gave myself lots of grace and slowly climbed out from the depths with lots of humility and support from others. However, sadly, I still struggle occasionally with depressive thoughts and identifying of my emotions, but I'm glad to be alive and to be able to feel my emotions again. Over time, I transitioned to be more extroverted when I learned that it is okay for me to take up space and to feel my emotions wholly. It is okay for me to have an opinion even if others don't fully agree with it. It's okay to be uniquely me. And finally, living a life beyond yourself, to me, means using what I've been given, my skills, time, and experiences to make a difference for others. Whether that's helping a student understand math or inspiring someone to take control of their finances, it really feels like a blessing to be able to make a difference in others' lives beyond ourselves and our own comfort.
As someone who has gone through depression healing, how do you now recognize when you're stretching yourself too thin or need to pause?
I would say your emotions are signals. It's important not to ignore or sweep them aside. Instead, acknowledge them, talk to someone you trust, or jot them down, and take intentional steps to process and address them.
Can you share with us what's your career roadmap about? Walk us through your personal decision-making framework and what are some of its core pillars. Could you also share with us a recent decision where this framework really guided you?
The people I care for through it are both the end users, the people who benefit from the projects, creative endeavors I work on, and also my community, because I really believe fulfillment overflows into the people around you. My career roadmap isn't a straight line. It's more like a compass. I care about having autonomy, creativity, and impact. So for me, my career is really about creating work that's meaningful, not just successful. When it comes to making decisions, I have three main pillars I check against. Alignment, does this fit who I want to become? Impact, does it make a real difference? Sustainability, can I see myself doing this long term without burning out? A recent example, when I was offered an opportunity that promised higher pay but less creative freedom, I chose to stay where I could experiment and grow. That decision wasn't easy, but my framework reminded me that freedom and purpose matter more to me than titles or money.
Do you ever find tension between what's meaningful and what's financially secure? How do you navigate that trade-off?
Yes, I often feel that tension. Meaningful work fuels my sense of purpose, while financial security provides stability. I try to see both as complementary, pursuing work that aligns with my values yet sustains my needs. When one takes priority, I keep the other alive through small steps, trusting that over time, both can align. I think of life like a dashboard with four main areas: work, play, love, and health. Of course, there can be more, but I adopted this metric from the Designing Your Life book. I try to be intentional about how I structure each. For work, I set quarterly goals around creativity and contribution. For play, I make time for sports, travel, and photography, things that recharge me. For love, it's staying connected with my close friends and my church community. And for health, I track workouts and rest because I've found that when I'm strong physically, I'm also more grounded mentally. To stop one area like work from taking over, I set stop points. Basically, times when I intentionally switch off from work. It's a small thing, but it protects space for relationships and rest. And financially, things like investing in ETFs or T-bills give me peace of mind. Having that control and structure allows me to make decisions from a place of freedom, not fear. It's less about money itself and more about designing a life that's intentional.
When life gets hectic, which are the four areas, work, play, love, or health, do you tend to neglect first, and how do you bring it back into balance?
When life gets hectic, I tend to neglect play. Even back in school, I was good at delayed gratification. I often push myself to work first and put off rest or enjoyment. I've since learned that play isn't a distraction, but a way to recharge and stay creative. Now, I try to bring it back into balance by scheduling small moments of fun or exploration, reminding myself that joy fuels productivity too.
What's one thing you tell your 18-year-old self? What's a non-negotiable daily ritual that keeps you grounded? If someone watching feels lost in their career or personal life, what's a one-sentence piece of encouragement? What's next for you, and are you building any new systems or frameworks?
If I could tell my 18-year-old self something, I'd say, don't rush to meet the world's definition of success. Create a life that feels authentic to you. A non-negotiable ritual for me is quiet time in the morning, either journaling or praying. It helps me start the day centered and clear-headed before everything else begins. If someone feels lost in life or career, I'd tell them, clarity comes from movement, not overthinking. Just take one small, aligned step today. Approach each decision with wide-eyed wonder and stay curious. What's next for me? I'm refining how I integrate creative work into my R&D role and building new frameworks for purposeful work, something that bridges passion, impact, and sustainability.